want to ask your opinion on a couple of upcoming fights. One of Chris's former opponents, as we discussed before, Billy Joe Saunders, takes on Canelo in a huge fight next weekend on the 8th in Dallas. What chance do you give Billy Joe against, in some people's eyes, current pound-for-pound number one in Saul Alvarez Canelo?
Give Billy Joe a really good chance. The reason being is because if you think about Canelo Alvarez, the toughest two fights he's had in his career, to me, were Floyd Mayweather Jr., who's a pure boxer, and a southpaw by the name of Edris Lunde Lara, who was a boxer. So if you think about those two guys, who's Billy Joe closest related to in the boxing ring? Those two guys. He's a boxer, he's southpaw, and he can punch. But he thinks boxing first, much like Tyson Fury. So when you got a guy like that, the only problem Billy Joe's going to have is can he last long enough early to get to those late rounds without sustaining any injuries, cuts, headbutts, anything. Because he's been off for about 15 months, I think, if not longer. So they're catching him at a bad time for him. But that's usually how they try to do you in situations when you aren't the A-side guy. So they're catching Billy Joe at the worst time they can catch him in, they think. So now Billy Joe has to make some adjustments. He has to figure out how to make up for that ring rust before he gets in there. Because if he can get into the fight right away, he has a very good chance of winning it. If he doesn't get into the fight right away, then he'll get blown away. But he's a very smart guy. He's a boxer. He's a smart boxer. With that being said, he should have a chance in this fight.
Billy Joe hasn't been as active as obviously he would have wanted. He was out last time out a few months ago against Martin Murray. But yeah, Billy Joe Saunders hasn't been as active as he wanted. But if you're not in the game to fight guys like Canelo, what are you in the sport for?
Exactly. If you're not going to fight the best, why be in the sport? And like I said, Canelo's going to test his chin too, because I heard that he's been hurt a few times. I haven't seen it, but I heard that Billy Joe has been hurt a couple of times, so he also has to be able to take Canelo's punch, because Canelo is a really good puncher. So if he can take the punch, he should make it a very interesting fight, because with Canelo being the counter puncher he is, the only people that ever gave him real problems were the other guys who were slick boxers and counter punchers.